parable of the rich fool. Jesus talks to some people and says this amazing thing. Be on guard against all kinds of greed. Life does not consist of possessions, and abundant possessions. Then Jesus told them a parable. It's about a man whose crops were amazingly abundant, and his barn was not big enough to hold all of the crops, and so he decides to build a bigger barn to hold all his stuff. And there's a place where he is having this conversation with himself, really sort of patting himself on his back, saying, boy, I've done great. I've got all these possessions stocked up. I'm going to be made in the shade for years. Eat, drink, and be merry. And as the parable ends, it says, that very night, God called on his life. And so in this amazing, wonderful drawing that Chris Brown has done, a big hand coming. But if you look at the detail here, when he's thinking it's all about him, notice here around his feet are all of these lilies. And notice over here are these birds. Do you remember Jesus saying things about the lilies of the field and the birds of the air, how God takes care of them? Don't worry so much about your life. And so in sort of stark contrast, not so much this man's worried, but taking pretty much credit for his life, forgetting that all that we are, all that we have come as gifts from God. Also in Chris's drawings, there's always this little medallion up here. I think some of you've noticed it in the earlier weeks. And there's usually a message in the medallion itself. And in this medallion is a money bag. And it has a cross on it. I think Jesus is not teaching us that it's a bad thing to have possessions. It's not a bad thing to enjoy your blessings. The trouble comes in when we just claim it and cling to it for ourselves. What does it mean to put a cross on your bag of possessions, on your bag of the things that are important to you? What difference would it make if you put a cross on it? I think it has something to do with enjoying the blessings, but also recognizing that they came from a good God. And the proper response is not just to enjoy the blessings and give God the credit, but also to share the blessings. So I think that's a challenge to all of our lives. Not to feel guilty if you have nice things. Not to feel they're mine, I don't have to answer to anyone. But to recognize all good things are gifts from God. To enjoy our lives, but also to share and help others live their lives. So what difference would it make if you put a cross on your possessions, on your bag of life? How would you live differently?